Alright, so this is going to be a very quick video that is going to show how a trigger that takes place in Google Tag Manager can be sent over to Google Analytics 4, GA4, in order to register a conversion. So the very first thing that we'll do is we'll go to the Google Analytics account. We'll go to Configure. Here we'll navigate to the Events tab. Then from the events, we're going to click on Create Event, and then we're going to click Create, then we're going to give it a name. So let's say it's going to be Property Link Click. So this is the name of the custom event, and then the matching condition is that this event is going to be considered executed when the following matching condition happens. So in this case, we're just going to say when the event name equals property click. So this is a bit redundant, but you'll see what I mean. So basically, when the event name equals property link click, then this event got executed. That's what we're telling Google Analytics. We're going to click Create here. So this event has been set up. And now what's left to do in terms of the Google Analytics setup is that we're going to go to the conversions. And then here we're going to click on New Conversion Event, and we have to give it the same name as the event name that we created just before. So Property Link Click. Just make sure that it matches. So here now we can see that it's been set up. Let me just double check events. By the way, they do not show up in the standard reports. So to see your custom ones, we can click on the Create Event, Property Link Click, and then it matches the Property Link Click here. Now we're going to go over to the Google Tag Manager. The very first thing that you'll need to do is set up a tag which is going to initialize the Google Analytics 4 connection. Well, you could say that that's the connection. That's to simplify it. So we're going to click on New. Let's give it a name. You're always going to be reusing the same one, so we can say init GA4. Here the tag configuration is going to be GA4 event. Oh, sorry, actually no, that's not it. It's going to be GA4 configuration. In the measurement ID, we're going to put in the measurement ID that we can get from here. Measure ID, measurement ID, click copy. And we're going to put it here. And then basically the triggering is very important, is that we need to put it on initialization all pages. So whenever a page initializes, this is going to run this basically tag, which is going to create the connection between Google Tag Manager and Google Analytics. So this is basically every time the page is initialized, we have the active possible connection between Google Tag Manager and Google Analytics. Save here. So this always has to be in place. The next thing that we'll do is we'll set up a trigger. So what it is that we want to trigger to be considered as a conversion. I'll click Next. Let's say Property Link Click. The trigger configuration is going to be, so once we've selected this, we need to select what is going to trigger the event. So it's either going to be, in our case, all elements or just links, because we want to register, click on a link. I tried with all elements, it didn't work, so I'm going to go with just links, and then we can see how you can troubleshoot it going forward. So here we're going to say some link clicks, and in the beginning you're going to have just a few choices. So what we can do here is click on Choose Built-in Variables to see even more built-in choices. So after I did this and I chose Click URL, I have it as an available choice. And what I'm going to do is look for the URL that I want to trigger the event. So in this case, this is the link. Whenever someone clicks on this link, I want it to be registered as an event. So if I right click on it, I can see here that the URL is this selection. So that's what I'll do, is I'll say that click URL contains selection. So this is going to be our basically our trigger. Now I'm going to click on Save, and we're almost there. So now we're going to go back to tags. So we have this tag that's always going to initialize. I'm going to set up another custom event that when executed, it's actually going to send over the event that took place to Google Analytics. So what we're going to do is click New here. This is going to be called property link click. The tag configuration. So here we're going to this time choose GA4 event. The configuration tag is what is going to be, what is that tag that is going to establish the connection first between Google, basically between the Google Tag Manager and Google Analytics. So that's the tag that we set up before, which is this one. So the event name is the event name that we have in Google Analytics. So if we go to the events, we can just create event. We can see it here. This is the event name. And that's what I talked about before. So Google Tag Manager is going to do the following. We'll just do a quick review here. In terms of the trigger in this tag, the trigger is going to be property link click. That is the trigger that we set up with you before. So what happens is the following. So when this trigger takes place, then the event is going to be sent over to Google Analytics with the event name property link click. So when this event is sent over and Google Analytics catches it, then it's going to see that the event name that was passed over to it is property link click. So it's going to know that it's this event that should be registered, basically. So here we're going to do save. And now we have our initialization tag, and then we have our actual event tag. Now let's basically submit. And now let's test it out. So we're going to go to Workspace. We're going to click on Preview, enter URL of the website. We're going to end up on the website. And then in this tag here, we have the list of events that took place. So we can see that this is the tag that fired, this is the tag that did not fire, and we have this event that so basically did not fire. So what we can do is go back to the website, try clicking on the link here, and then on this page we see that it went from tags not being fired to tags being fired. And sometimes you can troubleshoot this issue if, for example, the tags do not fire by looking at the native events that took place on the left-hand side screen here. For example, if I look at the link click, I can see that it's the link click event that took place, and these were the variables in the event. And before, when I was setting up the trigger, my trigger was all elements instead of just links. And we can see by troubleshooting the events that took place, this shows us all of the events, that it was actually a link click that took place. And we can see this without any special triggers. We can just basically click around on the website, and then Google Tag Manager is going to show you what kind of an event took place. So I basically saw that it's a link click that takes place. So that's the type of trigger that I chose and made it work, because just clicking on all elements didn't. And now if we go to Google Analytics, the final part would be to open up our live reports in the live reporting section, and then we will be able to see the live report in the conversions by event name, which is the property link click, which happened twice. Hope you found this video helpful. If you did, please do leave a like. Thank you so much and have a good day.